guys, and welcome to the latest edition of Train with Honor TV. And today I've got a guest who's had quite a journey, from starting off in Cape Town, South Africa, to now coaching over in Saudi Arabia. And I'm delighted to welcome Mr. Raven Fisher. Raven, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me. It's a privilege and an honor to be on your show.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. I appreciate you've had a really busy day as well. So, for the listeners, Raven, you just want to give them a brief introduction to sort of who you are and how you got into coaching.
Okay, so obviously my name's Raven Fisher. I'm from Cape Town, South Africa. I'm 38 years old. I started coaching in about 2000, 2001. I just finished high school, grade 12. And, it was always a passion of mine to be involved in sport, whichever way it was. Obviously, we all played the game, many different sports throughout my school career growing up. And then I thought, hey, I need to get paid for doing something I enjoyed. Yeah. And then it started with, started at my primary school, Berkeley Primary, where I did some coaching there. And then as I was coaching, I started studying at ETA, Exercise Teachers Academy.
Okay.
So they were offering, fitness training, sports management, coaching, all those the sports aspects. And then I thought, okay, that's the route I want to go. And then I started coaching out through the primary school and high school and wherever I could get a gig. So I was all over the show wherever there was, and some wasn't regarding money. It was just to get that experience, to get my name out there, to gain more knowledge in the field. So wherever there was a gig, I would go.
That's really good. And you know what? It's really good. It's really key the fact that you made the point of, you're willing to sacrifice a bit of your time to gain the knowledge and gain the experience. Because ultimately, that's what we have to do as coaches, isn't it? We have to volunteer some time, really, isn't it, to actually get our break. And obviously, it's worked for you.
Yeah,
that's pretty.
And then you know what? Funny enough, as I now finished my studies, and then I started coaching and getting paid for coaching. As the years went on, I thought, okay, now I want to take it more seriously.
Yeah.
Because now I've got the experience, I've got the qualification. So now I think I deserve more than what I'm getting given.
Too right, mate. 100%.
Yeah. And then, but in the back of my mind, it was still of just to get my foot in a door anywhere where I can grow and gain what I need out of it. And then the money will come at a later stage. You see? And I was enjoying what I was doing. That was key.
100%. I totally agree. And this is what a lot of coaches, I don't know whether what experiences you've had, Raven, with other coaches and colleagues and that. But one thing I found within, we've both been coaching for the best part of 20 odd years. And one of the things I found is a lot of people think that they're automatically owed money straight away. That they think they can step into an established coaching company or an established sports club and say, right, I want to be paid £30-40 an hour. And you look at them, you're scratching your head thinking, okay, so what experience have you got? Well, I've not really got any experience, but I'm working for this club's been going for lots of years. It produces professional players, so it must have money. And this is what people don't understand, isn't it? You've got to obviously get your foot in the door, then research and get to identify who it is that you're working for and working with. And then you identify what the true value is, right?
Yeah, because funny enough, you bring that up. An owner of an academy I previously used to coach at, he asked me that question. What is my value? What am I worth? He asked me that question straight up in the beginning when I met him. He just came back from Sweden at the time, and I met him, and then he asked, Raven, what is your worth? What is your value? You coming to me, asking me for a position at the academy, what can you offer? And if you're asking for X amount, are you really worth it? And then I had to sell myself and tell him why I'm worth that amount. not just coming with the experience
Yeah.
and the certificate and the knowledge, but also I told him, because with my interaction with him, I said my personality, I'm bringing something that somebody else won't be able to bring.
Yeah.
And I've worked with different age groups and different levels, male and female, adult and kids, a 5-year-old to a 25-year-old, and an amateur to someone going to the professional ranks, you see.
Mm.
And then he said, okay, what
That's
else could
hands
he
up
say?
then,
But
is
give me
that
what
right?
I
You're
want.
coming in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Oh, that is brilliant.
but yeah, but you know what? Obviously, I was at different clubs and schools and academies and things, and obviously, my specialty is football.
Mm.
But because I've got lots of experience and knowledge with other sports, because I played it and I coached it,
Yeah.
um, so I could always go into the school environment as a PE teacher, or I could divert and go in another direction because of the multitude of sports
Yeah.
that I have experience in. It's not just football and that's it. So I didn't also want to limit myself to my options when it comes to work, because obviously you need to pay the bills as well. It's not just I'm gonna follow my dream and that's it,
Well, this is the
but the
thing,
money's
mate.
not coming in.
Yeah, you've got to be
Mm,
realistic, haven't you? You've got to be realistic because it's so, when people go. I mean, I did a podcast with Sam Portland a few episodes back, and one of the things that was brought up straight away is it's you are more than the badge that you wear on your chest. You are your experience. You are
mm,
like what you spoken about earlier with your value. You've coached from 5 to 25 over numerous years at different levels, and people have got to be able to respect that in order
mm.
for you to want to share your expertise with that. And obviously it's working, and obviously you're able to sell yourself well, and you're able to go into different places. Because I mean, tell us a little bit about how coaching abroad came about, because it's something that we see quite a bit with um, you know different managing, and it's common nowadays with football, especially when we see um, people like Mourinho, and like Mourinho coming into working in the Premier League, who's Portuguese, to other people like Santo, who I think is Portuguese, are coming to work in the Premier League, and then you've got people like Neil Clement, who was English and went to work for Real Madrid. Tell us a little bit about your story in terms of how you managed to secure your coaching positions abroad. How did it come about?
So, so let me take you back to 2010. So 2010, the World Cup was in South Africa, if you remember correctly, the
Yeah,
Football
yeah,
World Cup. But I got an opportunity to go to Virginia in the States.
nice.
So everybody said, you're going, it's a World Cup, you need to be here. I said, my exact words were, this is for my CV to get experience. I can always watch the World Cup at the later stage. Yes, it's in my home country, but this is for my future.
Mm,
So 2010 came. I went to Virginia to a summer camp, but a sports camp.
yeah.
So I went as a football coach mainly, but that is where I picked up and learned a lot of skills regarding coaching and the sports and the camp environment regarding kids and different activities and holiday activities and all those things. Then that was in the heart of summer, and Virginia's also, oh, it's hot. It's hot.
Wow, it was quite warm as well.
Yes. Yeah, I
Mind you,
know. It's not warm, it's hot.
were you not
I
used
just
to
know how to pick
the
these countries.
I was going to say, were you not used to the sunny climates anyway?
Yeah.
Or was it even warmer? Get the sunglasses on. Get the
Yeah.
sunglasses on. Get
And
the
obviously,
sunscreen on.
I'm not lacking anything to do with a suntan. I'm okay. I don't need the sun. I'm okay.
Fair enough, mate.
But
Fair enough.
yeah, so 2010, I was there for about 6 months. So I go there. We there for about a week before, or 2 weeks before the kids actually start the camp. So we did training sessions.
Yeah.
So we met all the other, the sports leaders, the sports instructors, the camp counselors, all those from
Yeah.
all over the world. And then take a guess which sports I picked up. Fencing.
In America, I would imagine.
Fencing.
What's that?
Fencing.
Oh, fencing.
Fencing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's unusual.
Lacrosse.
Yeah.
Lacrosse.
I know lacrosse. I've done a bit of coaching with lacrosse myself. That's an interesting sport in itself.
Yeah. And you know the frisbee?
Oh yeah.
There was a guy from the UK, international player with frisbee. He also, so we picked up not just your normal football, basketball, volleyball, swimming, tennis, the basics. Those other sports as well that I would never have done. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even realize that was a sport. I thought it was just something that you did. I thought you threw a frisbee and send the dog to go and get it and it brings it back.
Yeah, exactly. But funny enough, these guys that came, they actually represented the UK previously at frisbee. Yeah, so that was 2010. I don't know how it is now.
Yeah, that just goes to show, doesn't it, how many sports we don't know that are actually recognised here in the UK.
Exactly.
Which is really
because even on the camp, so it wasn't just about the sports factor. What I liked is in the mornings, they would raise the flags as well of your country. And then at the end of the day, you bring it down as well.
Yeah, that's good.
You see, so that was a daily routine with the flag. So because I wasn't the first South African there, so they already had a SA flag. And they had flags from all of the other countries, or they would make a way to get whichever country you're from, you would raise that flag in the morning and at the evening at the end of the day. And we would eat together, breakfast time, lunchtime, and dinner time. And every night we would do an activity like a campfire or a sports activity or capture the flag or, you know, things like that with the whole camp is involved.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes. So
that
was an eye-opener for me.
I can imagine that. It's almost like a military. I mean, I spent 8 years in the army, and we used to have to at 7 o'clock in the morning. We had to raise the flag of what we call our corps. So I was medical corps, so we all had a corps flag, so we had to raise it up, and it just goes to show the levels of respect and the levels of respect and the value that they put on internet. I suppose it's to an extent you could argue it's like their Olympic opening ceremony at the beginning of every day, which I think is an absolutely fantastic touch. And what a way to celebrate the different cultures coming together and you know and experiencing that is absolutely amazing.
Because funny enough, at that camp, it wasn't just the instructors and the counselors that came from abroad, even the kids. Cool. Maybe 50% from the US and the other 50% from all over, especially Europe. Italy, Spain, Russia, France, mainly those ones, especially, and then from all over the world as well.
So were these kids that were coming over then, Raven? Were these kids coming over there just solely for the sports camps, or were they doing it for like were they going to America to study as well?
So there's a few aspects. Some came over to learn English. Okay,
that's good.
And then there were others that came over because their parents wanted them to integrate with other nationalities. Get that culture shock out the way when they're older, when they need to like maybe move abroad or whatever. Because most of these families were well off, so they were wealthy, so they could afford these kids. Some were just let's get these kids away. So some were there for the full period, 3, 4, 5 months.
And I bet you knew just for a week or two. These kids were. I bet you knew these kids were.
Yeah, exactly.
They were the ones that were always in trouble, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I know.
It's annoying. But mate, I know the feeling. The amount of times I've coached on holiday camps, and it is like sometimes it does feel like a babysitting service sometimes, doesn't it? But at the same time,
no. But you know what was nice about it. Sorry to break your word. It wasn't just about sport there. So they had, if you were into cultural stuff or theater or music, they had that aspect for you. Yeah. If you just wanted to play board games all day, that's your choice. You see?
Perfect.
So there was a bit of everything. There was even fishing, uh,
God,
things like that, yoga, whatever. I even did yoga as well. You see,
that's
so we were involved in a lot of things.
I tell you what, that is absolutely first class. Because and what I love about it is bringing the different cultures together, and especially in the current climate that we're in at the moment, and gaining an
Mm,
appreciation of different cultures and what their beliefs are, and maybe and getting an understanding about why people maybe act how they do act. Because of course
mm,
we're in a society at the moment where there's so much controversy, but what is a really really good thing to do is obviously expose people to different, and when I say culture I don't mean like from different countries. Now what I mean is like different backgrounds, because obviously you got some that are
yeah.
underprivileged, some are underprivileged,
Mm,
some go to food, some will go to food banks, some will have a Starbucks every day, things like that. And it is good to get an appreciation of the individuals, because at the end of the day we're all human. And I think that's one of the things that people really need to understand. And I think this is why there is so much conflict in the world these days, is because people haven't been exposed to the different environments to be able to respect different backgrounds. And this is a big story I learned when I was in Iraq, because in the army I spent 6 months in Iraq, working in the hospital. And I mean, we had Iraqi nationals coming and working for us in the hospitals, and they were some of the nicest people you can meet. And all they wanted to do was to earn an honest living. And
mm.
who is anybody to say no to that? Because at the end of the day, if you want to better yourself, any decent human being's gonna help them to do that, right?
Funny enough, you say that because we used to have international days at the camp.
Mm,
So I would have my South African flag. I would have some things that I brought with me to
yeah,
show what South Africa and Cape Town is about. And if they had questions, and the same with whoever else came from a different country besides the US, they would have their table, they would have whatever they had to offer and show these people. And it was like a show and tell,
I
basically.
like that.
And we
I
would
like that.
dress up if you had anything and that paint your face or whatever.
Yeah,
You see? So it was nice.
that sounds really good. And what a good thing to do and experience different cultures. Because I mean, we go back to football because we both love football. And you look at
Hmm.
the World Cup in Brazil. I think was it 2002, the Brazilian World Cup, I think it was. And you look at the festivals that they did. Everybody was there dressed in bright colours. They had the Jamaican music playing. Everyone was happy and everyone got right into the spirit. And when you're experiencing different cultures and you build that community, don't you? You build that community,
Hmm.
and you get stronger links with people, and this is how friendships start out. This is how bonding happens, and ultimately, this is how relationships and trust is built. And I think it's so important, because obviously, these transferable skills that you're learning, that people should be learning on a day-to-day basis, they are crucial in a
Yeah.
in a team environment when you're playing sport. And I mean, because obviously you've worked in different countries, have you noticed any differences in terms of how people respond to your coaching, or to different things?
Yeah, you know what? Since I've coached now, obviously in the US, in SA, and now in Saudi,
Mm,
and obviously like some kids that I'm coaching football in Saudi, first language is Arabic,
mm,
which I don't speak at all. So like the communication barrier. So luckily there is kids in that team at the academy that can speak English. I use them as translators, so
yeah,
they will interpret what I'm saying. Besides me showing them, but also sometimes the way kids react to maybe my accent or the speed at which I speak English, or just the words that I use that they may be not used to using.
yeah,
Maybe and then also with maybe like at academy level, maybe I have certain demands,
yeah, definitely,
and then maybe it's not met, so they're not maybe used to a coach telling, hey, this is what we need to do in order to achieve that.
yeah,
And if we don't, then this is what's going to happen. You see, because a lot of them here, especially in Saudi, um, only now lately that there's an influx of now expats that are coaching, and even the Saudis that are gaining more knowledge, especially in football,
That's good.
with coaching courses and things like that. Uh, they're trying to be more professional, and the kids are only understanding now what it
Yeah,
is or what's needed to achieve certain things. You see, because before they were never told, they were just allowed to do their own thing.
yeah,
Too much freedom and then no results type of thing.
yeah. And
You
it's a good
see?
thing that. Sorry, but I was
No,
going to
no.
say it's a really good thing that they're doing that as well, and it's good that it's good it's good from a government perspective and the sporting board's perspective there inside of it, that they're acknowledging the areas where they need to develop, and that they're not, and that they're willing to take action to actually improve their accommodation for the development of future potential sports superstars, really, isn't it? Especially when you look at the likes of, how well Riyad Mahrez is doing, an Algerian footballer who I'm sure probably
Mm.
didn't have much facilities, as you and I may have had growing up. And and all it takes is obviously that one opportunity that yourself and your colleagues are providing to give them that step, isn't it, really, and give them that structure, which is key.
Yeah, because funny enough, you say that I was chatting to some kids back home, and then to let them know that they want to take football seriously, they want to become professional.
Mm,
And then I gave them advice on, first of all, there's lots of information on the internet.
yeah,
And in order to, it's easy to say, I want to be a professional,
yeah,
but you need to know the steps needed to be taken to achieve that. So it was not just, I'm going to be a professional, that's it. You must know, you must have the work ethic, how the training, the eating needs to uh, be balanced with the training. Um, they need to belong to a club. They need to have the hunger and the passion and the desire, because there's kids that have everything, but they don't have the hunger. And then those that don't have much, they have the hunger, you
yeah,
see, and that drives them to go past those players that you thought, he should have made it, but he wasn't willing to work hard enough, you see. And I
yeah,
told them, get as much information as possible on these things because it's out there. Ask the people, they will help you in order to achieve your dream if they see you serious. But if you're
exactly.
not serious and you just say, I want to do it, but you're sitting on the couch and you're hoping it's going to come to you, it's not going to work, because I always say there's somebody training harder than you each day.
Yeah,
So
and it
you
goes
putting in hours, somebody else putting in double.
yeah, and it goes back to what you were saying earlier about being willing to put the graft in and to ask the
Hmm.
questions of people and obviously to do things voluntarily. Because I don't know about yourself, Amy, but I get regular through LinkedIn, especially. I get a lot of footballers um, asking for a trial. And the only words I get is, "Hi, I'm a footballer. I want a trial." And the
Hmm.
first thing that comes to my head is, like you said earlier, you've got to sell yourself, right? So the first thing
Yeah.
that comes to my mind is, well, firstly, who are you? Secondly, I don't know anything about you, so why do I want to work with you or help you? And
Yeah.
thirdly, realistically, I'm just going to ignore the conversations. You know what I mean? And that's not to be rude, but
Yeah.
because they can't be, because it's almost like they're not making the effort um, to explain to you why you should help them.
Hmm.
That's the battle lost already, isn't it? Really, and
Yeah. True.
I think a lot of this is down to maybe, I don't know, maybe a lack of education around it from maybe parents or their social networks, or maybe it's something that more people should be there to support these people. I don't know. It's one of those it's quite a frustrating thing, really, and I don't know what your thoughts are of that.
You see, I look at the two ways. The kids that have, or the teenagers, whatever now, have everything at their disposal.
Hmm.
Those are the ones that are okay. We laid back. My family has money. I've been getting things for free throughout. I never had to work for it. So I can play because in my eyes I'm good. So it should just come to me.
Yeah,
Not knowing you need to work to get those things.
exactly.
Then there's the one that they have the family support, but maybe the whoever supporting them doesn't have the know-how
Hmm.
how to get there or who to contact. You see,
Very
so
true.
that's why, like you said, it's tricky with both scenarios, but both is achievable. but
Yeah.
nobody's also just taking a back step, relaxing, thinking about how can we do this, or who can we speak to, or okay, I need to create a profile. Okay, then what? Then how? Or if I contact this person, how should we do it? Yeah, so I won't say, yeah, sometimes it's a bit of lack of education, but also
Yeah.
uh, foolishness also
Yeah,
from
true.
whether
It's
it be
like
the
people
parents
push
or
it.
the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
because I mean, everything is at the disposal on TV, on the internet. You should know something. Even if it's not the teenager, the parent or whoever should know a bit more, or the friend or whoever, to say, hey, this is the route to go, or this is the direction, contact this one, or do this.
yeah, exactly. Because otherwise people there's a lot because otherwise people get slammed otherwise, don't they? And it's like, oh, this person didn't help me. There must, why haven't they
Mm,
helped me? Why, like you rightly say, some people have been literally spoon fed for the whole lifetime, and
mm,
and I think life skills is a big thing that we keep coming back to, isn't it? And it's all about having,
mm,
and it's all about adapting um, to, being realistic, isn't it? Being realistic and being
yeah,
honest and open with where you are now and where you want to be, but also having a clear vision and again structure to enable you to get there. And obviously, it's something that you've had in place from sacrificing watching the World Cup in your own country to go. Mate, fair play to you for that because I couldn't do it myself. I tell you.
but wait, don't get it twisted. Let me just clarify. Me, obviously, um, I like to socialize. I like to
Yeah,
get out there. So my focus wasn't always, where it should have been. But at the back of my mind, I always knew this is what I want to do.
yeah,
Never mind. Some people could never see it like that. They thought, Raven is going off the rails a bit, whatever. His focus needs to be redirected. But I always knew this is what I want to do. You see, and I always pushed, even though it never seemed like it. But I had a plan, and I knew what I needed to do. Even if I took my own time, because remember, we all run at our own race.
yeah. Oh,
So
of
we all
course.
go at our own pace. It
Exactly.
doesn't mean you've done it. Oh shit, I'm behind. I need to catch up. I will eventually get there if I follow my plan.
Exactly.
You see?
Don't compare yourself to other people. Always remember that you are
Mm.
you and you are unique. And the most important thing, Raven, now is, are you happy with where you are right now?
Exactly. I'm happy. Funny enough, I spoke to some people recently back home, and I said to them, I would never have envisioned that I would be in Saudi Arabia now.
Yeah,
Yes, I'm happy, but I knew I would be somewhere,
yeah,
but I never knew Saudi. But the thing is, I always pushed. So, 2018, I got a phone call from the agent to say there's a position in Saudi Arabia as a tennis coach.
yeah.
But I was coaching at the time uh, at, at at a Jewish school. I was busy coaching. I was doing a football session at that time when I got the phone call.
Okay.
Then I asked the agent, can I phone her back and can she email me the details? Then when I got home, I received the email. I checked it out. I knew the one company. I wasn't sure about the other company.
Yeah,
Then I did a bit of research, and then everything worked out. And then, even though it was for tennis, but
yeah.
I can deliver because I can coach it. I did coach it. I played it before, so there was no issue.
Mm,
And then things happened quickly after the interview. I got the position. 2018 August, I came to Saudi.
yeah,
Tennis is paying the bills,
yeah.
but like I say, currently I'm studying my UEFA B license through the Scottish FA. So football is still the ultimate, but tennis is where I am currently, and I'm coaching at the academy in Saudi. So it's a win-win for me.
100%. So not only have you got the opportunity to keep developing and and progressing with your education and your knowledge so you can pass it on to
Mm,
these people, but you've also got the but one thing that I think a lot of coaches and a lot of players don't understand as well is it's always good to experience different sports because
mm,
there's so many skills that are transferable. I mean, I'm coaching in elite setting of rugby league at the moment, and in the S&C, strength and conditioning. And I've been doing football for goodness knows how many years, and the amount of transferable skills are unbelievable. You've still got to have speed. You've still got to be able to make decisions. You've still got to know when to pass, speed of the pass, communication. All these key skills. They're so transferable, aren't they? And anticipation, discipline, a key one. And obviously, the more exposure you get to it, it's only going to make you a stronger coach, right? Or even a stronger player.
Yeah, like even with me, I had an opportunity, but not a lot of people know about this. To work on a cruise ship, Disney cruise ship. But as a sports coordinator, organizing the activities and things. But I had to decline, unfortunately, for personal reasons and things. And then I thought, okay, sometimes these opportunities don't come around twice. It's once and that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
You see, but I kept on pushing and pursuing, and just look how it happened that I'm here now.
Yeah, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, and even now I'm still looking.
Yeah,
I'm still, putting my CV out there, still on the internet, still checking where are other options, because Qatar World Cup is around the corner.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And I'm around the corner, so you know what I mean.
Well, this is exactly it. You've always got to be looking for the next chapter, haven't you? Because you never know. You never know when something might come to an end for whatever reason. And obviously we're in COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, how is everything COVID wise over there? I mean, in terms of restrictions, I'm assuming at the moment it's pretty relaxed, and the COVID rates are down at the moment in Saudi.
Yeah. So last year when it happened, when the pandemic started, whatever, early last year. So obviously it was, it was like lockdown. It was strict. There wasn't any activities happening. We couldn't go anywhere and all those things.
Yeah.
But one thing I can say about Saudi Arabia, the way they handled it with regards to locking things down, and even with these applications that they're using now, and like most of us have got the vaccine.
That's good.
Yeah, so they look after you even if you're an expert, so, and with regards to, like, now we're doing individual lessons only on the camp.
That's good.
But outside, where I'm doing the academy work, obviously we're working with the teams and the so, and there's obviously applications that's linked to your health. So if you had the vaccine and all these things, that everything is linked up, and it will pop up if you had the vaccine, or if you've been in contact with somebody that has had COVID and all these things, and you need to show an app to enter a certain facility. So they relax, but they've clamped down a lot also.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's
so obviously, like, in the UK and in SA, that's not the best at all.
No comment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So at least I feel like I've got a lot of freedom in Saudi.
Yeah, that's
within
really
restrictions. Good. Yeah, so you know what I mean. So I can still coach, I can still work, I can still enjoy myself, and feel not like I'm in a bubble where I can't do what I love.
And that's the most important thing. And it just goes to prove that if things are done properly, then people can still pursue what they need to do. And unfortunately, we have been unfortunate here in the UK that unfortunately a small minority, I feel, have ruined it for other people through big camps. But it's really, really good the fact that you're able to do like your one-to-one sessions. Obviously, you've done doing a lot of tennis at the moment, but then obviously you've still got the opportunity to do the team sports as well. But I think the key message there is the communication element is key in terms of being able to promote the health and safety element, and so that you can optimally so that you can maximize the performance of the individual athlete, and of course getting the most out of your session as well, isn't it? And which is the key thing. But no, I mean, I think it's been a great conversation, and there's a lot of take home from what we've spoken about, and it's been absolutely brilliant to find out more about your journey, and you know, how things are in Saudi, and what's been really good is the fact that you've been willing to make sacrifices and been willing to, you know, give your time for nothing in when to get yourself on the coaching ladder. And the one thing you've done really well is you've persisted, and you've had that, and you've known that you want something, and you've not given up in getting it. And credit to you for that, because I think it's a really important thing that people understand, that you're not just going to get a free meal ticket. You have got to work hard. You have got to do things. So what I'll say, Raven, is, you know, for anybody that wants to reach out to you and, you know, and find out more about you or how to work with you, where's the best place to find you?
Okay, so my email address is ravenfish13. So RAVENFISH13 And then I'm on Instagram as well, Raven Coach.
Brilliant. I
Yeah,
need to follow you on Instagram now.
Yeah, Raven Coach. Yeah, get me.
Brilliant. So also we're on LinkedIn, so now that's good. I'll give you a follow.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, guys, definitely follow Raven, like he says, on Insta at Raven Coach, and then of course drop him an email as well. And you know, I'm pretty sure that you know, hopefully, and even if you got some opportunities that you'd like to discuss with Raven as well, you know, 100%. Because obviously the whole purpose of this podcast is connecting coaches and hoping to inspire and motivate other coaches and connect coaches and athletes to good quality people. So on behalf of me, Raven, thank you very much for your time today. It's been absolutely fantastic to have a conversation, have a chat, and yeah, it's been great. To finish off with, what are the 3 non-negotiables that you must do in order to become successful?
Discipline.
Just a
focus.
Simple.
Yeah, discipline, focus, and the hunger and desire. That's 4 words. Hunger and desire, discipline, and focus. Can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
I like what you said at the end with networking, because previously in the past, lots of coaches and people in the sports industry, they don't like to share information. They don't like to help each other. This was in the past that I've experienced.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm all for that, sharing information, helping somebody on their journey. But so I hope we can, you know, start that trend and implement it throughout, where we all help each other, we network, we make sure everybody's getting to where they need to be, and not, you know, keeping things.
And this goes to show the quality of the different coaches, because the best coaches pinch ideas, and the best coaches always share ideas. And you know, you're only going to learn by surrounding yourself with really good, like-minded people, and you know, being able to do these things, you know, things like the podcast, or being able to be on LinkedIn and reaching out and engaging with people. It's the only way you're going to learn about people, because one day you never know what's going to come in the inbox, right?
Exactly.
£50,000 paycheck. Boom, happy days. Brilliant. Well, Raven, thanks very much again for your time, buddy. I've really enjoyed the chat. And guys, please like and subscribe to the channel. If there's any specific topics that you'd like us to cover in future episodes of Trainer On TV, hit me a message, and I'll look forward to speaking to you soon.